This is Kelly O'Connor with Mountain Financial. You want to see something amazing? Let me show you two slides from our arsenal of hundreds that'll knock your socks off. This here is what's referred to as the table S5. It's the proposed budget by category. You can find this, if you just Google that phrase right there, you'll find it at whitehouse.gov. This is the most recent updated information from the government. And what we want to do is we've got to focus on a couple things. And I know there's a lot of numbers here, so follow along with my highlights. We're first going to look at the two basic categories: outlays, which is what the government pays out, and receipts, which is what the government brings in, which is, of course, taxes. Now, in outlays, they're broken down into three categories. One, the appropriated, which is discretionary programs, meaning this is the one that they can kind of play with. This is military, which is security. So our entire military falls under security, and non-security. Non-security is the entire federal government. That's everything federal government. Okay, so discretionary programs, military, and the entire federal government. The second is mandatory programs. These are Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, TARP, pension, government pensions. These are entitlement programs. And third is the net interest of this whole thing. And then under receipts, of course, is just all of the various forms of taxes, from individual income taxes to corporate, excise, estate, and gift taxes, etc. Now, what we want to focus on is right up here. This is 2012. So if we were to take the $1,319,000,000,000 of discretionary funds and then figure out what amount that is of the total outlays, well, all we do is subtract out the 1319 from the 3796, and we get 2.477. We get $2,477,000,000,000. What that's saying is if we completely wiped out the entire federal government and the entire military budget, then we end up with an outlay from the government of $2,477,000,000,000. But here's what's interesting. Let's take a look at that in comparison to the total receipts, 2,469. We are still $8 billion short. If we wipe out the entire federal government and all of the military. So if you were to take all the receipts, we still don't have enough to cover all the entitlements. So what do we do? How do we fix that? We can't just wipe out entitlements. We can't do that. We can't wipe out the federal government. We can't wipe out the military. So how do we possibly solve this problem? Well, look at what they're going to try to do. Look at the difference between these two circles. This is just in 10 years, 2022, from 2.469 to 5.115. They're doubling the amount of taxes collected. In this particular budget, as of right now, they are anticipating doubling taxes in just 10 years. I mean, imagine if you've got an 8-year-old kid. That's by the time they're 18 going to college. I mean, this isn't far away. We're not talking 30, 40 years here. This is just in 10 years. How do we solve it as individuals? How could we possibly recommend as advisors that somebody put their money in a vehicle that defers their taxes to a later date? How could we do that? Do you understand why it's so potentially dangerous to be advising clients to defer taxes to a later date? Meaning they're contributing over here at the 2012 into a vehicle where they don't pay the taxes yet, into a time frame where we're collecting more than double. How can anyone, including you, make any decisions about your money without knowing this information? And more importantly, how can any financial professional make recommendations without understanding these trends and shifts? I'm pretty confident that other advisors have not told you about these issues, so that begs the question, well, what else are they not telling you? You must be in a position to protect yourself from the imminent changes coming your way, and we certainly have the strategies and the solutions to that. You see, if we can be in a position to where our monies aren't subjected to the increasing tax environment, and that's in a contract position, maybe we as individuals can protect our own house. Now look at this. Taxes, they're collecting double, But if we go to this next page over here, what you're going to notice, this is the debt. 2012, you know, we hit 16 trillion. That's total gross federal debt. And in that 10-year period of time, it's going to go up to just under 26 trillion. That's a 58.6% increase in our debt, and they've already collected almost double in taxes. One of the possible solutions for the government is all those government-controlled investment plans, your 401ks, your IRAs. Those have not been taxed. There's over $17 trillion in qualified plan accounts. It's definitely a concern that they have control of that money, and they can take as much of it as they want because they're definitely going to need it. Once again, you need to be in a position to protect yourself from these issues that are facing us in just simply 10 years. And we have the solutions and the strategies to help you.